indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start public comment. Most comments in 5 minutes. Agenda items only.
Yes, Bill. I've got a couple questions on the road use agreement. Can I ask those questions when the engineer's here, or would you rather I ask him now?
I would probably, yeah.
Okay, because there's, what is it, page 3, number 6, there's a wording in there that depending upon whether Mid-America was not holding the county responsible for anything the county did. And I asked Laura, and I just want to understand that, so. Yeah.
So I know he did take it to the lawyers,
Okay,
so.
They looked through it, I know they were fine with it.
Yeah.
okay. And I do have a question concerning why are you limiting Mid-America to $10,000? If our costs end up being more than that, why not put that limit higher?
On the
Administrative fees.
On the administrative fees, yes.
I don't know why they've got that in there.
Because if Ben and his assistant are doing a lot more work and putting a lot more time in, you might be well past that if there are issues that they're trying to fix, so.
Mhm. So,
He'll be in.
okay. Those are my only questions, so thank you. I guess I do have one more question, Bill. You're gonna get tired. Is there gonna be enough money left in the, that government funds, what is it, ARPA funds or whatever, to redo this road, to make it 5? Super.
The ARPA
I
fund?
hope,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I didn't know how much, I just
Yeah.
was interested in finding out how much is left.
yeah, I don't know.
Or the 2 new supervisors gonna sit on folding chairs out here.
If
I was thinking the other day, we'll just put some chairs at the end and they can just pile papers on the end of,
Put a card table out here, card table there.
Yeah, the $5 bucket they can sell on this, wasn't there over there?
Okay.
less the price you pay for keeping it clean. It's now an open spot.
Bill, do I need to go up there for my comments, or?
Well, your guy sitting there didn't, so.
Well, I just had a couple, Laura Wilson from Dysart, I'll follow that. I did have some for Ben, but I guess one thing would be, I know Mid-American is set in here to conduct the surveys and the road use agreement. Would you be possibly considering having the county do their own surveys, just to have like a, you know, in case the Mid-American ones aren't completely all-encompassing, just to cover the county's butt? Or if Mid-American doesn't cover something and we find an issue, that'll be on Mid-American to cover if they didn't note a pre-existing issue. It just seems like them doing the survey might be giving some gaps to the county for coverage. And I know that'd be a lot of extra work on our county employees, but that could be considered part of the administrative fees. And then also the part where it says, they have to give 15 days for notice on their original haul route, but it says reasonable time for any changes. I feel like that's very open-ended, and that might be something you might want to add in there as, you know, 15 days are also needed for any changes to the haul route, just so that we can match that survey time and prep time and notice to the citizens, because that was that 15 days was to give the engineer ample time to notify citizens. And if, best time available, that's so vague that citizens may not be notified in time. I know this got sent to the lawyers, but that just seemed like a gap in there that maybe would affect your constituents and would affect the county, not giving them time to prepare for a change in the haul route. And then I did have a couple questions on this ARPA fund. Have any of these been quoted by anybody?
Why don't we wait and when Tammy comes in, she can maybe answer that question.
Okay, so I know you guys don't like when we interrupt too much, but some of these just seemed a little high for like $10,000 for doors and cabinets. I didn't know if like any excess beyond that, if they did end up getting quotes, if there was excess, if that fund would go back into the county, or since it's ARPA, if it just doesn't get used. I could see using 10,000 on computers because, electronics are pricey, but doors and cabinets for the same 10 grand just seems like a lot. And I didn't know if us not utilizing it for what we say we're using it for would mean that the government keeps it and we don't get that money because we didn't allocate it correctly, or if we would just go and, fill up the 10,000 for what was on here. So I guess I can ask Tammy, I didn't know if quotes had already been done or.
After helping a friend with his remodeling job, 10,000 is pretty close. You get a carpenter nowadays, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, take long to spend 10,000.
So you guys would be getting a carpenter to make your cabinets for the county and not just install, okay.
No, that would be custom made.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
It's what you kinda made it sound like.
I believe if they don't spend that 10,000, that stays in the ARPA funds. It
Yes, it
doesn't
does.
come into the
It
county
does?
funds.
Yeah.
It stays in
I
ARPA
was under the
funds.
impression it came to my.
For the
wages.
government's ARPA funds, right?
Yes,
Not, okay,
in the government ARPA funds.
alright,
I tried, Tom.
thank you.
But
So
that-
yes, we have the ARPA money, we got it in, we put it in a special fund, special account, and the claims come through my office. And we only pay the amount of the claim, so if they ask for 10,000 and it's 9,500, that's all that gets paid. The 500 stays in that fund. Then when we get to the end of our 2 years, whatever's left, we'll either try to spend,
So
go out
would-
for more requests.
It would stay with the county to reallocate that?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was
It
wondering,
would
if
be
it was, the county wouldn't get that,
Right,
or if it was already with the county and we reallocate. So that answers my
Yeah.
question actually
Okay.
more, thank you.
yep, you're welcome.
Should be. We're gonna
I
ask
have a
Tammy
question.
about it. She'll have the balance, I think.
Stand up, maybe. Can't see you.
Question. On the dust portions of this, contract, in light of the dust storms that have caused horrific traffic accidents just not too many months ago, and the forecast for this year being extremely dry, I wonder if, there's enough, in this contract to prevent a huge problem in Tama County of a dust storm up there where, there would be vehicular problems, tractor accidents. It's just it's in the middle of farm country, so there's gonna be a lot of, on my road, there have been times in this last fall, probably September, October, where I actually couldn't see combines going by, it was that bad. You could not see who was in front of you. So I'm just wondering if that's got enough mention in here and enough priority for the conditions we are now going into, and will be in probably for 2024. It's really ugly. To be a concern. That's all I wanted to say.
feeling?
Oh, God.
No, I won't be. I'm gonna call him. Oh, no, I'll call him. Yeah.
Well, it started at 1, and they started to the other one.
They planned this already. Yeah. Give them that thought, yeah, it does make sense.
I got some things to check on yet, some project.
Yeah. I looked it up on grammar.com and it says guarantee with a Y is just usually used in like legal documents and stuff.
Okay.
Just
Guess I
says
don't
it's
read a lot of legal documents.
yeah. I mean, it says it's just the less used one, more often seen in legal documents. And
That's so weird, but thank you.
I did see a little bit of that, yeah. Oh, no. I read the paper, I was like, yeah, no, we just was talking about, the alcohol, swans. I got on the swans, I had to read the whole thing, those weren't even dated, or something like that, so. We were out in Kansas City and had the paper with me, I was like, all right, read me the whole article, so I had to start from the beginning. So he thinks that, he's pretty sure it's gonna be That's good, cause he's pretty good, he's a judge. It took up 2 pages, or it took up part of 1 page, and then there's like,
I know better.
that was good.
Yeah, if you're like me, that's.
So we gotta do that again, or what?
I'll throw my home.
Okay.
I mean, you don't get to sleep in on Tuesday.
I get mentally ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that raise that you got really is not a raise.
Someday it will be.
Someday,
He called me, he said, here.
Busy season.
I know.
Did one,
yeah.
And I got insurance, I think it's
By me.
Is that where you're at? So it was last year.
Right.
And they snowed that actually in March.
Oh,
That's sweet.
House sit for them.
yeah, there you go.
I've never done it, I could do
Yep,
that.
that's a good idea, that's awesome.
It works out.
Yeah. I do that.
Okay, I have 9:30, we'll start our regular
I
meeting.
just seen a shadow.
He's coming, Ben. I just talked to him on the phone, I'm like, I gotta go to the meeting.
Okay.
I just seen a shadow, and there's another shadow. There.
Okay,
There he
I'll ask for a
is.
motion to approve last week's minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Then moved and seconded to approve last week's minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Ben,
Morning.
you are,
Alright. Alright. Right now, we're stocking rock at Chelsea. Been using the nice weather to get some small projects done. Some ditch digging and a few other spots. We got guys cutting brush, one being, on O Avenue near E29 or DuPonta. I didn't know how to spell that one, so.
DuPonta?
DuPonta, my spelling was never good, that's why I became an engineer, not
Oh, that's
a
right.
teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, and then on the K Avenue Bridge, we got the abutments poured for that, last week. And they'll be working on forming up the deck. Typically, it takes 2 or 3 weeks, for them to get the, all the false work in and the rebar and all that sort of stuff. We'll see what weather does and how things are going that way, but we've been, so far, have been, weird winter so far. No white Christmas, so.
That's all right.
Which it's alright for our budget wise, for that way, so. Then I got a few things for us to go over and sign. I got, purchase agreement, for the road right of way, for Carolyn Sue Kearns. This is on P Avenue. It's a really small little chunk on the southeast side, that we're needing to purchase for, that box culvert projects we got going on there. And that's this will be the last, kind of, purchase of right of way, so P Avenue and then 220th the right of way for those projects will be all purchased, with this agreement. So I recommend, signature.
Linda Simmons, is that a different one, or are they all, that one?
Yeah, it's this, yeah.
Two of them.
It's, Carolyn Sue Kern and Linda Wright Simmons, they're co-owners,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the purchase agreement.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Then moving seconded to approve the, purchase agreement for the right of way on P Avenue. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we will.
And then I got some, all, P Avenue, E and F Avenue, and then 220th Street, all project BROS, CO 86, parent 108 8J 86. Just needing signature on that for the final plans.
The box culvert.
For the box culvert. Just needing, I guess, all of your signatures.
You need everybody's signature on
Yeah.
this. Get that one right there, man.
And then I think,
Notary. Oh, we all get to sign it. All get to sign it.
and then the next one is, the next one is on E Avenue, box culvert. And box.
Signature, please.
Get the, assembly line going here.
Oh, gosh. Get out there, bud.
This one I have here is on F Avenue. It's another, all these were wooden boxes that were gonna be replacing with concrete box culverts, so. Last one here is 220 Street.
motion and a second for those
Oh.
four.
Oh, for these here?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we
Okay.
approve the, replacements of box culverts.
108, 109, and.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Did you need those numbers?
I've got them all already, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the replacements of the box culverts. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. All right, and then we have road use agreement, for haul roads and, with the, repower with Mid-American. Just a little bit, they're looking at, planning to start mid-May on this, and then the repowered turbines will have an aircraft detection lighting system, so when aircraft come in at night, the lights will, those red lights will flash, and, when there's no aircraft in the area, they'll just be dark. They've, Mid-American told me that they had used this on another project and it worked, pretty well, so,
Good, okay.
so.
I think we had a couple of questions about.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, one concerns page 3, item number 6. I want an explanation, who's liable, I didn't understand the wording there, and what's it for?
So,
Is Mid-American not holding the county responsible for damaging any of their road work? Is that the way I read it? Or is it saying that the Mid-America's not responsible for any damage the county does?
From the way I'm reading it is that, so any and all claims that happen, in the right of way, that they have to, fix, that they're holding county harmless so that you wouldn't have to pay that. That's the way I'm reading that.
Okay. Just so you understand,
Yeah.
that if, let's see, yeah, if the county does any, I have no idea what the county would do to damage their work as far as, yeah, I don't, but I just didn't understand the wording.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other question I have, why are you limiting, number 21, limiting it to $10,000? If you spend a lot of time driving up there, your time's expensive.
Gas is expensive.
Yeah,
I guess the reason it being a repower, it shouldn't have as many, things going around up there, so that's.
The attorney,
Yeah.
when they looked at these,
Yeah.
he had no problem with
Yeah.
this.
So.
Is that right, Ben?
Yeah, he has no problem with the 10,000, so I guess.
But does he live here? Where does he live?
The attorney?
He probably isn't going to have anything to do with any of this, he's not gonna care.
Well,
$10,000 is really nothing, can't even buy a used car with that.
Apparently you can buy doors and cabinets with it.
You buy doors and
Yeah.
cabinets, there you go.
well,
I just question that, cause 10,000 doesn't seem like very much if anybody from the county is up there checking
yeah,
roads fairly often.
yeah.
That seems like a low figure,
Okay.
so. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, so that's what we kinda came up with, so.
Page 2, number 3, is that driveway policy that's referenced, is that an ordinance or, just some other policy that was enacted from 1979? I just didn't know, because ordinances are supposed to be reapproved every 5 years. I didn't know if that was an actual ordinance or if we were referencing a different policy, and I didn't know if that was.
It's driveway policy we have that has stayed in place.
Is that an ordinance or is that just a policy?
It's a policy the road department has
Okay,
for driveways.
all right. And then, same page but further up, and also page 1, it says that Mid-American needs to make its best efforts under circumstances to provide you with advance notice. Did the lawyers give any input on why they wouldn't require the 10 days that's required for the initial one, so that you have time to have adequate time to notify the public? Because it says in number 1, they need 10 business days to notify the public, but then best efforts if they change their plan. And then the next one says 15 days, which is basically 10 business days plus 4 weekend days, so it's one day more than the other one for identifying and writing the haul routes. So it just seemed like a fairly large loophole. I didn't know if the lawyers explained why they didn't mind having best efforts instead of an actual time frame for any plan changes.
I think with the way construction can be, where, in the communication of things, I think 10 days is adequate for us to,
Right, but best efforts could be, oh, we have 1 day to notify you. That would give you less than 10 days if they made any changes. Best efforts is just very vague and seems like a large loophole for them to make any changes and not give you that 10 days notice, so that you can notify the public. I mean, say their best effort is 2 business days, so those people that have the changes only get less than 2 days by the time Mid-American notifies you and you turn around and are able to notify them.
well, I'll definitely be knowing that we have this and other, the Salt Creek project, I will definitely be contacting them to make sure we're on the same page of when they're coming in, so I know, obviously, we're trying to make sure, what these haul routes are, so we can look over them to make sure that there's not any, load rated bridges and,
Right, yeah, I did see that
Yeah,
was
that's-
later in there with the load rating bridges,
yeah,
but.
so I mean, they're gonna have to, I'll be definitely in contact, I have a contact with them, and so I'll be, March or, trying to get a gauge, obviously they had told me mid-May, but obviously with the way things go with construction, it could be, if they get things all squared away, maybe it's April, or maybe it's June,
Right,
but, I mean,
10 days for their initial plan, but best efforts for any changes just seems like they could really cut that down on you, causing you a tighter time frame and preventing citizens from knowing that the haul route has changed in less than the 10-day time frame that was originally planned. And then I was also wondering, are you planning on doing any of your own surveying before Mid-American? I know they're required to do it, kind of like how a tenant needs to document their own changes, but I didn't know if you'd have any base surveying, just in case anything gets hinky.
I think it'd probably be best if we went out there and did, videoed the roads. I've done that on, well, not necessarily for this purpose, but just to get a gauge of, get an old asphalt road and just videoed the road, just to see how it was, so then afterwards we had a kind of a, documentation of that.
That sounds like a good plan, thank
So,
you.
That would be probably,
Thank you, Ben. Okay, so, thank you, Ben. So, you want a motion to approve the Pinch County road damages and seconded to approve the road use, agreement with, Mid-America. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
I guess,
I have one, Ben.
okay, I didn't know.
I've got a
You guys
copy.
both have copies?
Yeah, I've got a copy of that. Okay. Oh, you're gonna need signature.
Oh,
The
the
signature
John
page.
Hendricks, just one?
Yeah, just one.
Do you need a copy with signatures too, Laura, or?
Yes, let me get that page.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then we'll just shove it back the other way. One more you get to sign.
Okay.
Okay, this will go to Ben and that one will go to Laura.
Ben needs to sign this one.
Alright.
Kirk needs to sign that one.
Hmm?
Kirk needs
Whoops.
to sign that one.
Sign the wrong spot.
Kurt,
I did, well, give it here, I can cross it out. Whose spot?
you signed Ben's name.
Oh, what is that?
Can't be forging people's name, Kirk.
Dang it. There's some sort of official,
Just maybe draw a line through it and initial it, and then
Yeah.
I'll sign it.
Which one you want?
I'll take the crossed out one.
Okay.
Yeah, well, let's let
Yeah.
Ben sign that one.
There you go.
Or is that blackmail material for you?
Yeah, just get in my little file.
Remember
White
that
out.
time when you
Still white
signed
out.
the-
How about that?
Or what's this one?
Yeah, I'll take that.
I don't have any.
We'll send the pretty one with him.
There you go.
Go
Thank
for
you.
official.
Alright.
Oh,
Well,
hey,
Yeah, thank you, Ben.
thank you,
Have a
Ben.
good
I
week.
have a question on something else, is that you brought up, the fence removal and dirt work on the corner of DuPont and O Avenue, are you taking those, are you digging the ditches out or taking the cliffs down, or what all, that's pretty extensive right in that area, what is all gonna be done there?
we're trying to get rid of some snow traps in that area. I know we probably won't be getting into all of what we would probably wanna do there yet, this winter, but we're just kinda starting that process.
In that one area?
Yeah,
So so you're digging ditches down and taking the banks down also? Where,
Just taking a bank.
yeah, just taking the banks down, so, you know, we did one on 250th, but that was a little bit more extensive.
yeah, it's really extensive in that area.
But,
Trees
so
and
just to
fences.
try to kind of lower that down, so we have less of a, you know,
Drift, as you
drift,
go on
yeah.
east on DuPont,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what it's for.
yep, that's what we're trying to do, so.
Okay, thank you for the explanation.
Thanks, Ben.
Tammy.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
No.
How you doing?
Not really.
Okay, so the proposal that we're making, well, just to start out with, we contacted ISAC to make sure, with ARPA funds, if we have to do we have to do resolutions to move money back in that we didn't use in the areas that we had said we were gonna use it in. You know, like leftover, we did like 150,000 on something, we only spent 140. We don't have to do that, we just put it back in the fund as long as we show where every bit of it went, then we're fine. So, beginning with that, So the one that I brought to you today, this will be hopefully the last one for a while, because everybody needs to get their stuff done, and I need to know how much money's left before we move on, because we do have money set aside, for broadband still. We're looking at probably, I don't know, because they still haven't got us the quote yet, you know, it takes us forever to get that from them, I'm not sure why, but, we put 400,000 going from here to conservation, stopping at the shop, landfill, then going to conservation. And that actually, still out of that 400,000, they still have 122 left. There's gonna be a small fee because somebody made the mistake of not bringing all the lines into the, park. They just brought all the lines to the park, and then I think they brought,
And they cut it down.
yeah, they cut it down, and so now we can't use it for backup purposes, which was the whole intent. And so they gotta fix that, I don't know what that's gonna cost, but I can imagine that that would cost more than $22,000 even, so I do believe we'll have 100,000 left there too. We do have some other areas, but, so the resolution for today, so for the auditor's office, that's, that 26,000 is, for laptops and, additional Tyler training. So we do have the Tyler money still sitting there, two of the pieces that we're purchasing, but this would be additional training on top of that. We're in the process of doing assets right now. We did do a lot of training, or pretty lengthy training with them over the assets, but I think there's some more stuff that, Michelle's interested in, so I'd ask that you approve that. Secondary roads, so camera, tower, and osmosis. So the cameras, they need to update their cameras. The ones they have are not showing the parking lot well enough that they can determine anything. For some reason, the cameras aren't good enough. So they'd like money for that. The tower, they wanna put, out at the shop, I think they are wanting to build like around the base of it and help strengthen the structure there. That's, what, the engineer had requested. The osmosis part is the water issue that they're having in Pima. I don't know if, I don't know if the osmosis, the reverse osmosis is the answer yet. She did have quotes and stuff, and I almost wonder if they shouldn't put in a filter system. I don't know, we'll see. So, but anyway, the amount for that, I think, was like 4,000, right? And that one we put for that. So, I don't know if she'll even use the 4,000, I'm not sure yet, but that, I would request that money for them. Veterans Affairs, she has holy carpet, she has shag carpet on this thing, I think it's supposed to be shag, but it's matted. Anyway, she's got some trip hazards going on. We just put 8,000 in there because she did not have her estimate, and we just told everybody, this is the last one we're doing for a while. If you want something, you gotta get it in now. So I assume it's probably gonna be less than that, but just in case, cause that's not a very big building. Then the maintenance garage, that's the one for Dirk, that'll take away renting storage, we'll have our own garage over there, and that'll be attached to the back of the VA. Safety, the first aid part, that's to get everything set up and going for the first aid kits throughout the county, and that's Garrison's project. That's just the beginning of it, and then, is there anything you'd like to tell them on that since you're here? I think we
That's just
discussed it.
install all the
Mhm.
new uniform kits around the county and then the vehicles, and then there'll be maintenance on resupply, but that should be fairly minimal compared to what I got from Cintas, so.
The desk, 3,500, that's the treasurer's office, that's pretty self-explanatory. Economic development, business recovery, she wanted an additional $20,025 to finish up all her business recovery for the county, some smaller businesses that needed some additional stuff. And we felt like that was pretty good, you know, she's almost done, she's helped a lot of businesses, so, it's working out really well. The recorder's office, computers, I'm hoping that's probably pretty close, cause she didn't have her paperwork in, so we estimated 6,000 on that, so. And then 911, computer training, and, I think laptops. So it's like half and half, it's like 7,000 something for laptops, 7,000 something, for the training that goes with it, so. And Laura, does yours have mine on there?
Yes.
Door cabinets?
Yes, mine does, I don't have I think I didn't print it back out again after I
Okay,
said
it
it,
is
so
on
is that the
official.
last one?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is, if you remember,
No, there's two more.
oh, is there two more?
Yeah, there's two more.
What's
The
the third?
attorney.
The attorney,
Added in late.
and she needs laptops too, is what she's requesting the money for. And then the part that I was requesting is when, if you remember correctly, well, you probably don't, Lyle and I fought because he wouldn't let me put a door in to take stuff out of our new room, because it's sitting in there, if you notice it, everything is sitting in there extra. Well, Ben said I could do it, but he's probably not gonna pay for it, but I can do it.
You can do it, go
I
ahead.
can do it, go ahead. And then the other part was, in the kitchen area, we're just gonna, put cabinets with a countertop on the other side. So it's probably not gonna cost this much, I'm hoping it comes in a lot lower, but that would be it. So, this would be the last one, like I said, until we can see what everybody else has done. I've gotten, I thought I brought that for you guys, but I may have.
So after this is all said and done, will we still have that money that Beth was talking about
Beth,
for 911
for 911.
building?
For a building.
No, because you people need to let us know that.
Well, you were sitting in the meeting. Wasn't she there?
No, she
Oh, yes.
I wasn't there, I know nothing about what you're talking about. So, no. There was only 3.2 million anyway, to begin with, and we've been spending it all along.
Well, I think she was looking at that 400,000 that must be sitting for.
It is sitting, it's
For
sitting
broadband.
for broadband. We haven't allocated it because I was hoping I would have a specific amount. But if there is money, if there is money left at the end of that, absolutely, I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. Any money that's left over to throw to him. But we should, hopefully we'll have a better idea of what we're gonna have. There's still 200,000 sitting in there for public health too, and that's for their van that is being built, and then the inside has to be built. And that's what the additional 200,000 is for, so maybe we'll have a little bit left there too.
Do you have any idea how much that'll be?
No, not till I find out the broadband amount,
Well, after we talked to Beth Miller, I talked to Jeremy, and
yeah.
he's pretty excited about it. And I asked
Well,
him
that's
what-
pretty unfortunate, because nobody told
Well-
me, and I would've called and said, hey, Jeremy.
I swore we had talked to you about that.
Nope, no, I did not know at all.
So,
But whatever we can save out of the broadband, that would be great
Yeah.
too.
Well, they
after
really
this, we'll just put a stop on.
Well, you're gonna have to wait to find out how much is
Yeah.
all done, yeah.
You still can get the print, and you can still get a plan, right?
I don't know, how much is he talking for that piece
Well,
of
we
it?
don't, Beth was just mentioned that 400,000 and well,
Naughty Beth.
well, no, I thought it was a great idea because, they were really crammed up there.
Whoa, I know,
They really need something else.
but 400,000 isn't gonna save them, but it would start, so, yeah. So we'll have to wait and see what's left. I was thinking, since it costs 300,000 to go to conservation, I was kinda hoping it'd be a lot less going to the engineer's office, cause going to conservation was a lot further. I mean, look at the stops, we made 2 stops and then went on, and I'm thinking the conservation the engineer's office shouldn't be as bad. So maybe we'll end up with 200,000 or 300,000 anyway. It shows it's allocated, but, a lot of it in there, but there'll be a lot left over too. So,
I think we should. Work with
So earmark it for that kind of sort of.
Earmark it.
well, did you wanna do away with the broadband? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, whatever we have left.
Whatever we have left. I say if
Yeah.
we don't, approve anything, until we find out
What's
the
broadband
estimate is to, the engineer's office. Go ahead and do what we have now, cause we know we have that money left in there, and then, don't allocate anything else out till
Yep.
we have the broadband estimate, and then I'm encouraging everybody to get their stuff done, because that's holding us up on knowing what's left over.
So we can approve all these.
Yes, these are okay, there's still gonna be about 400,000 left in there, so with these, so that's okay. And like I said, there's still some money in there that I think we're gonna get back, and so then what we could do is, give the rest of it to 911. I mean, I think that would be, and if we just say we're doing that right now, we're done. You know, after today, we're done, and that's where the money's going.
Well, that's my opinion.
That's what we
Right.
should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah,
can do
Cause
that then.
that's terrible over there.
Yeah, I
We
know.
all know it, I mean, it's,
Yeah,
they have to have something.
absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, fair, sounds fair to me.
Tammy, just a quick question. Do you know if the departments have done their 3 quotes ahead of this estimate, or is this like their pre-quoting estimate and then those costs will likely fluctuate depending on who wins the quotes?
Well, it okay, so when you look at, ordering laptops and things like that, we let our IT do that. So a lot of the stuff you won't have those quotes on. You can, you'll have the bills from the IT department, but we allow them to purchase for us, because they know what we need.
But like the
Some of
contracting and the
stuff-
carpets and the
Yeah,
cabinets?
so the carpets, we do have estimates on that, she's getting estimates, but I can't tell you what they are right now. But yeah, we normally do that with all of our purchases.
Well, I didn't know if that was already ahead of these estimates or if that was gonna be, this was just a guess and the estimates would be coming later.
In 2 departments, it's a guess,
Okay.
and they are getting
Yeah.
estimates, and we, excuse me, we hope we guessed high enough.
And then my other question is, what is the Tyler training again? I forget.
Tyler, that is our system that we use throughout the county.
Okay.
It runs the recorder, the assessor, the treasurer,
Yep.
excuse me, not the, I'm not sure what the assessor,
Yes,
the recorder, treasurer,
And auditor.
Okay, thank
yeah,
you.
and auditor,
Okay.
so.
I have a question. On
Karen?
the laptops, is that going to be a problem with people working from home? For instance, the county attorney, instead of going into his office with the additional
No.
laptop?
No, they currently
Just-
have those,
Okay.
they just are replacing what they
Okay.
have,
Thank you.
so.
And my laptops for the auditor for voting precincts, the
Yes.
laptops we use when you check in to vote on voting day, they're outdated, so it's to replace those.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's it.
I would ask for a motion to approve the resolution 12/18/2023A.
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 12/18/2023A. Ask for a roll call vote.
Okay, Kurt,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Dan,
Aye.
and you guys.
Thank you, Tim.
Yay, thanks.
Thank you, Tam. Okay, now we go on to the expense. Can I have a motion to approve the claims?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. This week claims are $657,115.44.
Been moved and seconded to approve the claims. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Sir?
Thank you, Laura.
Big week.
Big and heavy week.
I knew I forgot something. I was gonna ask her about her.
Ben?
Ben about that. Bill. Okay, need a motion to move next week's meeting from Monday to Tuesday due to holiday.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Moving and seconded to move next week's meeting to Tuesday, the 26th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, the next one, do we need?
I don't know if Amanda's coming or not, let me see if she's.
I bet she ain't there.
Oh.
No, she's here
Oh,
today,
she's
but
just not at the desk.
no, she'll pick up pink eye medicine or
Oh,
whatever.
that's right. All right, well, she did visit with me about it, so,
Okay.
a couple weeks ago, you had Rob Fattig and I think Daniel Paduska here
Yes.
about abating property or taxes and assigning a tax sale certificate that the county has to them so they could clean it up and maybe resell it. And in that motion, you had included to, abate the taxes due on the special assessment to Powashik Water. And we aren't allowed to do that. Powashik Water is the only one that can do that, so. And they've been made aware of it, as I understand, Mr. Fattig and Mr. Paduska. So that, that amount of that interest was, $151. Yeah, $151. So I will add that back on there, that they need to pay, and that gets
Yeah.
forwarded to Powashik Water
Yeah.
for their assessment for water to
Okay.
the house, so.
Okay.
I just need a motion and a second to, change that, to
I'll make-
include the interest.
I'll make that motion to include the interest.